I want to talk about unity's ideas and about this idea of oneness. So let me start with unity. Unity has a tradition of defining the Trinity. There is mind, idea, and expression. Those are the three that form the Trinity of unity. Mind is, in unity speak, another word for the divine or for God. Idea is something that happens in mind. It is the perfect form. It's like the Platonic perfect forms. It is an ideal expression, idea, and then it has expression in particular. So if we were to take humanity, we would say that mind had an idea which is you. If we are a reflection of God, then that Trinity is repeated within us. And we have the same creative aspect of God as an expression of the divine that the divine does itself. So we have a mind, we have ideas, and then we do expression. When you are talking about your highest aspect, which is very subtle, you could compare that to the mind. And then you have your identity, the thing you have accumulated by all the thoughts and feelings that you identify as yours. You have this idea of yourself. And then what you do with your life is your expression. You have a transcendent self, which is connected with all things. You have an idea, which is bracketing you into a smaller form. And you have the subsequent output that can only be in so many shapes and possibilities because the idea is what limits it. It is, how is it that so many people pray to Jesus, hear his words in their head, feel him holding them in his arms, etc., etc.? Why is that universally available to all who call upon it as a remedy for the sense of disconnect from the divine? That essentially it is his identity that is different than ours. If your identity is that you're a person with small capacity, the likelihood of you doing great things is minimal. If you are a person of, I have large capacity, then your chance of doing larger things is better. Your identity will limit what you do. Now, if you want to do differently, the fastest way to do differently is to change your identity. Cease to be a small thing and become bigger, which would come about when we identify with something other than the body and our history. Or if you identify with the whole, your influence on the whole can be limitless. If you identify as a part, your ability to influence the whole is minimal. And if God had an idea of perfection for humanity, and there was one person who we claim did it, Jesus, then it would mean that by extension, we too could do that. Should we identify with the perfection instead of with the particle? And the shift of our identity is really what spiritual work is about. Moving from being a physical-only experience to being a spiritual experience to being a transcendent spiritual experience. This is moving our identity toward being the divine itself, or at least the divine idea of humanity. When your identity shifts and you become one with all of it is available to you because you are it. And love would be natural because it's just an extension of your own essence. All of us are connected to everything. We're connected to each other. We're connected to nature. Spiritually, we're of the same source. We have the same capacities as that which we have called God. We are the world. The very source energy that has created everything is flowing through us even as we are. And that which has brought us to this point is still in us and as us. It's a different way of seeing the world. And if we could shift back to that, then do you think we would destroy the world to be a little more comfortable? Or each other to prove dominance? Or would we separate ourselves so that we feed some people and starve others? It would not be the case. Our problem is our identity. We identify small. Meditation on this thought, in the quieting of your mind, and then meditating and feeling, is this true? Can my body, can my mind, can my soul feel beyond me? Am I limited just to my skin? Or does my energy extend farther? And as it does it affect other people? And as I consider the possibility that I am one with everything, and these are not trite words, but in the exploration of your own inner self, the way to know the outer world as that is to quiet the inner world to the point where the noise is less, so that we can hear, so I am that.